TGON and AspMedia brings you Asphere's Cafe. The cafe is now open.
Hello everyone and welcome to Asphere's Cafe. Today is Monday, January 19, 2026, and yes, we are back with another fresh episode of Asphere's Cafe. So how are you all doing so far, of course? And for the first time for our fellow TV channel viewers, we are now relocated at a late night time slot under TGON radio block. So you will get to see us every late nights at 1 a.m. That is under TGON radio block on TVH network. So the reason why we're not at 9:30 a.m. time slot anymore on TVH is because TVH has decided to relocate some of the programs to earlier time slots, and of course the game show of TVH Talaga ni Pare will now be at 10:30 a.m. until 12 noon. So that explains why my show is now relocated to a late night time slot as under TGON radio block. And alright, so before I start with our cafe, I would like to clarify what's been happening with my other main host, Dreamcar. Well, unfortunately, he will not be showing up on my cafe until further notice. And why is that? Well, I cannot disclose it for a reason, but Dreamcar simply does not want to show up on my cafe for some reason, and I still am puzzled as to why he decided not to show up. I mean, he's been not feeling well ever since he got called out by, he got called out. But either way, too bad that my other main host Dreamcar will not be showing up on my cafe. So there's a possible chance that as a result I might have to look up for a backup host in case. But either way, the show must go on because I will not be giving up on what I do here in my show, because every day on Asphere's Cafe we always talk about what's happening in technology. We always talk about what's happening in anime and Japanese pop culture every Wednesdays, and the gaming on Thursdays, and the randomness on Friday. Now, for the Friday episode, that I don't know, because since Dreamcar decided that he will not be showing up on my show until further notice, there's a good chance that my show will be going on replay on Fridays until further notice as well. So you'll get to hear us live every Mondays to Thursdays, while the replay will be on Fridays until Dreamcar returns. So that is what I will be planning on, because again, without Dreamcar or any other co-hosts, I don't know how to execute this, right? So yeah, anyway, and in case you missed last week, Truman is already on the vacation leave from my show because he is focusing on his semester, and he will be back around maybe not now, but he will be back around in the summer, I think. But again, once he's done with his semester, he will be back in our show. But for now, Chumi will not be showing up on Wednesdays as well. So that means my show will be full on solo mode. That is by yours truly, Cairo. So I'll do my best to cover what I can do here on my show. So if I make mistakes, I deeply apologize, and I'll do better. So there's that. But yeah, without any further ado now, let's get into our tech cafe for right now. So let's get my screen share up here, and well, I think you all need to hear about this. And well, whether this may be good or bad, this is somewhat going to be a very important topic because this is for those who are using social media frequently. As you might not be aware now that the ICT Philippines or Department of Information and Communications Technology is planning to 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 put mandatory verification for all social media users. Not age verification, but they're asking you to verify your social media account. Whatever how that works remains to be unseen until the ICT proposes it by this week, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, let's get into our screen share so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So what you are seeing on the screen is coming from the Yucatec app, or not Yucatec app, but coming from Yucatec. And I will be reading your comments as you will leave your thoughts on this one. So, all right, so this is coming from Yucatec, and as the headline says, DICT in the Philippines plans mandatory verification for all social media users. Don't get too confused with age verification because thankfully they are not going to ask for age verification, at least for now. But they will in fact require you to verify, or they will require you to verify your social media account. Well, whether how that works remains to be unseen. How that works, maybe I don't know, but yeah, this is coming. So yeah, let's read this what they're going to do. So the Department of Information and Communications Technology is preparing for a new policy that could fundamentally change how Filipinos use social media, with plans to require user verification across all major platforms operating in the country. So, DICT Secretary Henry Aguda revealed that the agency is close to issuing a department order by next week. That will formalize the measure following internal reviews by its legal and policy teams. If approved, the directive could be released as early as next week, which could be this week. So the proposal is intended to strengthen accountability in online spaces by making it easier to identify users involved in cybercrimes, harassment, and other digital offenses. According to Aguda, anonymous or untraceable accounts often complicate investigations and enforcement efforts. The push for verification gained urgency amid recent concerns over harmful content generated by AI tools, including sexually explicit and non-consensual images like the Grok, an AI chatbot developed by Elon Musk XAI. The issue prompted government action and renewed scrutiny over how platforms manage user behavior and emerging technologies, which is why, as of this time, Grok is banned in the Philippines. So Aguda said the policy could also significantly reduce the presence of trolls and automated accounts, which have become increasingly common on social media platforms. So he explained, noting that both strive on anonymity, with a quote, verification addresses two major problems: coordinated trolling and AI-powered bots. While many platforms already have the technical capability to verify users, Aguda pointed out that self-regulation has been limited, largely because high engagement, even from questionable accounts, contributes to platform revenue. So, continuing with the quote, social media companies find it difficult to police themselves because traffic drives their business. Once there's a clear government framework, they'll have a basis to act, end quote. If implemented, the policy would mark a major shift in digital governance in the Philippines, signaling a move toward tighter oversight of online identities and behavior, and potentially reshaping how users interact in the country's digital spaces. So, this might not be good, or maybe it won't be good, but it sounds, if you care about the human rights, that might not be good. So yeah, I want to hear your takes, audiences. Who's in the audience? We have in our Discord audience, we have Zalia, we have Doracer, and of course our newly appointed junior administrator of G's Discord server, that is Chit. So I want to hear your thoughts on this take. What do you think about DICT, or I should say, what do you think about the DICT implementing or planning to implement a mandatory verification, not age verification, huh? They are not planning age verification they're not planning age verification, but mandatory verification, which possibly might require you to show government ID or something. I don't know how that works, but it remains to be seen. Alright, so Torres said, I heard that Google is also blocked here in Indonesia. And yes, you are absolutely correct, because I'm not surprised that Indonesian government follows suit. So yeah, I am not surprised at all. I am not surprised. Overall, overall, how about you guys? What is your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this? Let me try to engage with Chit here. So Chit, what is your take on this? DICT planning mandatory verification for all social media users. If you want to speak in Tagalog, that's okay. If you want to speak in English, that's fine also. Okay, so apparently, according to Tor Racer, it also comes with a price. DMs on X is also offline as well. So apparently, as reported by Tor Racer, you cannot use direct messaging function on X because it links to group block in Indonesia, apparently. So that is pretty shocking. I have never heard coming from an audience saying that you cannot use DMs on X. Dang, that's new to me. But yeah, that's what I call this very risky implementation right there. But yeah, ladies and gents, that is the ICT planning on mandatory verification for all social media users. At least no age verification for now. But what is your thoughts again on this? I don't know, but let us know in the comment section down below on your take on this. All right, let's move on to another topic, and well, you heard that right. Philippines becomes first country to put entire national budget on blockchain. And what even is blockchain? We'll get to that in a bit, but we will read right here coming from Yuga Tech. The Philippine government has begun using blockchain technology to monitor the full life cycle of its national budget, marking what officials say is a world-first implementation at this scale. Speaking at a briefing in Malacanan, Henry Aguda, Secretary of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, confirmed that the 2026 General Appropriations Act is now integrated into a blockchain-based platform called the Digital Bayanihan Chain. According to Aguda, the system records every stage of the budget process, from congressional approval and fund release to spending and reporting, into a single immutable digital ledger. The goal is to create a permanent, tamper-resistant record of how public money moves through government. So this is what Aguda said with the quote, "This effectively gives every peso a digital receipt," end quote. So that's noting that once information is written on the chain, it can no longer be altered or falsified. He added that while other countries have experimented with blockchain for limited financial functions, the Philippines is the first to apply it to an entire national budget. The DICT said the move is intended to strengthen the transparency, reduce opportunities for misuse of public funds, and improve accountability across government agencies. By placing the entire budget on chain, officials believe auditing and public oversight will become faster and more reliable. Agudas emphasized that the initiative is part of a broader push to modernize government systems using emerging technologies, positioning the Philippines as an early adapter rather than a follower in digital governance. So, well, this is pretty good, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna be honest, it's a good move from a Philippine government that they're going to put their national budget into blockchain, so it cannot be tampered. So I say this is a good change, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So yeah, there's that. So what are your thoughts on this one so far? Let us know in the comment section down below about this. Also, in another news, Globe and Starlink launched direct-to-cell satellite service in the Philippines. So, Globe Telecom has officially partnered with Starlink to bring direct-to-cell or term shortened as DTC satellite service to the Philippines, marking the making the first telco in Southeast Asia to offer this breakthrough technology. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. was present today at the Globe Tower in Taguig, or not today, but on January 16 at the Globe Tower in Taguig City to witness the ceremonial signing of the Memorandum of Agreement. So starting this year, Filipinos using standard LTE smartphones will be able to access essential phone mobile services such as voice calls, text messaging, messaging apps, and even video anywhere with a clear view of the sky. No special hardware or apps are required. Starlink satellites will essentially act as cell towers in space, beaming signals directly to mobile phones and seamlessly connecting through its network of over 650 low Earth orbit satellites. So the biggest impact is in hard-to-reach areas across the country's more than 7,600 islands. Globe says the service will help cover the remaining 4% of the population, or around 4.8 million people who currently lack terrestrial network coverage. This includes geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas as well as maritime zones. The service is also positioned as a key tool for disaster resilience, helping keep first responders and communities connected when typhoons and other calamities disrupt ground-based networks. It also enables continued access to e-government services and supports business continuity in remote locations. Globe President and CEO Carl Cruz highlighted the significance of the partnership, saying, quote, "This partnership with Starlink marks a historic step in our mission to build a digitally inclusive nation. Connectivity is no longer a privilege, it is a lifeline and a modern utility that fuels individual opportunity and national economic progress," end quote. The statement underscores the importance of addressing connectivity gaps in an archipelagic country where signal dead zones remain a challenge. Starlink's direct-to-cell service has already been deployed globally, delivering millions of SMS messages and emergency alerts during critical situations. With Globe as its local partner, the service is expected to provide reliable backup coverage that works similarly to roaming. The rollout is set to begin this year, although pricing and full deployment timelines have yet to be announced. President Marcos' presence at the signing highlights these initiative roles in advancing the country's digital transformation agenda. For communities in remote areas or those at sea, this development could prove to be a game changer. More demonstrations and details are expected as the rollout progresses. So, not to mention that the mandatory verification was also announced at the same event, by the way. Yeah, this was also announced at the same event with us Globe and Starlink event, by the way. So, yeah. Anyway, and I would say about this is what I call it, well, you call this what we call improving connectivity. So yeah, that sounds pretty good with this one. So yeah, what do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section down below. Okay, so now we are less than, sorry, we're not less than, it is now 6:50 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and we have 5 more minutes before we take a commercial break. So let's head over to The Verge in the meantime. But let me see what's worth covering here. So if I head over to tech news section. Well, this is surprising. Asus is exiting the smartphone market. Okay, so if you guys recall last week that I talked about Asus not producing any smartphones, well, it's true, and here we are. So, yep, as the headline says, Asus is exiting the smartphone market. So this is coming from GSM Marine. From during a special event gala at the Taipei Nangang Exhibition Center. According to reports, Asus will focus its resources and R&D on commercial PCs and physical AI. The brand will still offer maintenance, software updates, and warranty services for existing smartphones. Should also share that Asus reached 738.91 billion Taiwanese dollars, or $23.4 billion in revenue for 2025, which represents a 26% jump compared to 2024. The AI server business, in particular, achieved 100% growth, doubling its own target. So, Yeah, this is the end of an era for Asus smartphones. So, yeah, no more Zenfone, no more ROG phones. It's all over. So we now it's now safe to say that Asus is officially exiting the smartphone market to focus on well other segments that are performing well. So yeah, not too surprising knowing that Samsung, Apple, Huawei, Oppo, Realme, Vivo, even other brands are faring better than Asus at this point. So with that, which can explain why they're exiting the market. So yeah. Now for Tor Razer's comment, Rib Zenfone. Yeah, I agree. They used to be so innovative. It's yeah, that you're right. You're right. You are absolutely right, Tor Razer, because if you recall the Asus Zenfone 4, way back in 2015, if my memory serves me right, this is what do you call this? The one of the unique looking phone back then. Not this Zenfone 4, nah, but the other Zenfone 4 from 2015. So if we go back here, yeah, as you can see, there is Zenfone 4. This is what I'm talking about. The good old Zenfone 4 that I still remember to this day when someone used it back then. Yeah, this good old Zenfone there, man, it really is a retro trip to me because, man, Zenfone phones were hotcake back. Were selling like hotcakes back then, if we recall, right, Eraser? Because I'm pretty sure it was selling well in Indonesia when I was still in Indo back then. But yeah, aside from Zenfone 4, we also have Zenfone 4, Zenfone 5, and Zenfone 6, which I believe is a larger model. But yeah, it really is one of the best looking smartphones ahead of time, and it's sad that now that Asus is no longer producing any more phones. They used to use Intel chips, but then complaints were dropping it. Yeah, they did use Intel chips back then, and they were really playing it differently. Instead of using Snapdragon chips or MediaTek, they were using Intel chips, which, to my no surprise, yeah, they were really playing differently. So yeah, but still, I do find Zenfone phones from 2015 to be very innovative. Same can be said for the Zenfone 2. But either way, I have to admit this is one of the best looking phones ahead of time. And if we move forward today, this is one of their last to produce phones because now they're leaving the market completely. This is one of the last produced phones which is listed right here. So yeah. Teresa, if you had Asus phone, which phone you used it back then? You used to use back then? But anyway, that is the end of Asus of making smartphones. It's sad to see that Asus is now following suit after LG left the smartphone market not too long ago. Alright, so Torres was typing something. I'm gonna let him finish typing. I wanna hear what he has to say about this. Oh, okay. You're not really a Zenfone fan. You're not really a Zenfone person. I had a Redmi do. Oh yeah, Redmi phones. Oh, Redmi phones designs. It was also colorful way back then too. But yeah, understandable. But yeah, also the downfall of OnePlus needs to be examined. True. I mean, whatever happened to OnePlus? Yes, it's really not in a good looking shape right now. But yeah. But anyway, that is the end of the Asus smartphones, which you are seeing on the screen. Again, it's very sad. They are now leaving the market, and the only left we have is Samsung, Apple, and all other leading brands out there. Not to mention Huawei, Honor, Vivo, Oppo, Realme. You know the name. So yeah, the end of Asus smartphones, ladies and gentlemen. What is your favorite Asus smartphone that you used back then? Let us know in the comments section down below. Alright, it is now 6:58 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and we still have plenty to cover right here in our Tech Cafe on Asphere's Cafe. But in the meantime, our sponsors, As we have Asphere, we have Dell Sound, Asphere Appliances, Dream Cars Pizza, Pinoy Coffee, Central Cinemas, Melody Mart, and Always Grocery. And also before we had the commercial break, and since I'm still preparing the ads, shout out to all of you who is in our stage right now. That once again we have Azare, Reggie Jr., and Tor Racer. Thanks for stopping by to my cafe and knowing that it's currently the only TGON radio show that is currently live, because TQ Plus 2 has been going on replay for quite some time now, which explains why they haven't been producing episodes again. That is because of they are busy with their upcoming semesters, and also the exams too. So yeah, again, I would like to appreciate each of you who is subscribing to my coffee. So thank you so much for your continued support. All right, 6:59 p.m. and we will be right back after these messages. Stay along with us right here on Cool FM and Ans Radio. We will be right back. Welcome back to the program. It is now 7:10 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and let's continue with our Tech Cafe right here on Asphere's Cafe. So let's get my screen share right here, and well, you are not going to be surprised by this news, as OpenAI is dead serious in implementing ads into the chatbot with the name ChatGPT. So this is starting with the ChatGPT Go subscription, which will not include the ad-free access. And yes, as you are seeing in the headline right there, OpenAI launches ChatGPT Go globally and will start testing ads soon. And yikes! Obviously, this is not surprising. So this is coming from GSM Arena. So let's start with the ChatGPT Go first. So OpenAI launched its low-cost ChatGPT Go subscription in India last August, priced at 399 Indian rupees per month. Since then, ChatGPT Go has been rolled out to 170 countries and is now available in all markets where ChatGPT is available, including the US. In the US, ChatGPT Go costs $8 per month, while ChatGPT Plus and Pro cost $20 per month and $200 per month, respectively. Well, if you want to know the pricing, the best way is to check the ChatGPT website, and you will see your local pricing. In my case, let's head over to the pricing section. So in this section, you have free, Go, Plus, and Pro. So in this section, in the plans I have right here, free, you obviously can do with everything with your chatbot, but you have limited access to the flagship model. You have blah blah blah, limited messages and uploads, limited and slower image generation, limited research, blah blah blah, and of course, now this is interesting. The Go subscription that will cost you 300 pesos per month here in the Philippines. Yeah, more access, more messages, more uploads. Basically everything you get from free, but you get more access to that. And there is the disclaimer right here. This plan may include ads. Yes, you heard that right. This plan may include ads. Baby sweet Jesus. This is the first time I am hearing ads coming to ChatGPT. Oh my gosh. So, here is their help article. They did say there are currently no ads in ChatGPT yet, but they will soon implement. So, what does it mean? Well, they announced not too long ago that they will begin internal testing ads in ChatGPT for free and Go users in the US, but they are not live externally yet. Yeah, plus pro business, enterprise, and education accounts will not have ads. So there is this question: ads. When will ads be available in ChatGPT? Ads are not live yet. Who will see ads? They will show it for free and Go plans, and there is a reassurance that obviously the higher tier plans will not have any ads at all. So yeah. Well, this is what their principles are, which I will get to that later, but we need to continue where we are reading. So, in addition to launching the global launch of ChatGPT Go, OpenAI said it plans to start testing ads in the US in the coming weeks for login adults on ChatGPT's free and Go tiers. ChatGPT's Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise plans will remain ad-free. OpenAI says that responses in ChatGPT will not be influenced by ads, which will always be separate from organic entries and clearly labeled. Moreover, your conversations with ChatGPT will remain private from advertisers. So this is their principle, and I'm pretty sure it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same as you're seeing in the help article, but we're just gonna read it here in a demo graph. So this is their mission alignment. Our mission is to ensure artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. Our pursuit of advertising is always in support of that mission and making AI more accessible. Answer independence. Ads do not influence the answers ChatGPT gives you. Answers are optimized based on what's most helpful to you. Ads are always separate and clearly labeled. Conversation privacy. We keep your conversations with ChatGPT private from advertisers, and we never sell your data to advertisers. Choice and control. You control how your data is used. You can turn off personalization, and you can clear the data used for ads at any time. We will always offer a way to not see ads in ChatGPT, including a paid tier that's ad-free. Long-term value. We do not optimize for time spent in ChatGPT. We prioritize user trust and user experience over revenue. And if we go to the next paragraph, here is what to expect for the ad for ads coming to ChatGPT. Obviously, free and Go plans. With the Go plan being a paid tier, despite still get ads. Who won't see ads is obviously the high tier plans. How ads will work? Ads do not change ChatGPT answers. Your chats with ChatGPT are not shared with advertisers. Ads will be clearly labeled. Ads may be shown if they are relevant to your conversations. Chats that include sensitive topics such as health, mental health, or topics are not eligible for ads. And there you go. So how that works is right here. So the image below shared by OpenAI shows what the first ad format could look like during the test. So this is that you can expect to see on your response soon. And yes, it does say sponsored. And you also say sponsored right here. So this is what they said in the blog post. We will learn from feedback and refine how ads show up over time, but our commitment to putting users first and maintaining trust won't change. By starting our ad platform from the ground up with these principles in place, we can align our incentives with what people want from ChatGPT. Our long-term focus remains on building products that millions of people and businesses find valuable enough to pay for. Our enterprises and subscription businesses are already strong, and we believe in having a diverse revenue model where ads can play a part in making intelligence more accessible to everyone. So, there you go. Ladies and gents, it is now confirmed that ChatGPT will have ads. Yay! Whoops! But yeah, too bad you will get ads, but it is the reality of how it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. But what are your thoughts on that anyway? So let us know in the comment section down below. And I want to hear your thoughts from our audience. Teracer or Alzaria, do you have any comments on that? Honestly, no comment. But my dad uses ChatGPT much often, so it's a plus for him, I guess. Coming from Teracer. So, fair enough. I mean, I'm not too surprised knowing that the ads are really imminent now that it's coming to the platform for real. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. And yeah, I'm honestly not too surprised. I am honestly not too surprised. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue what we have here, and let's check my private server. What else I can talk about? All right, let's head over to smartphone news, and starting off, we have Techno Spark Go 3. So you may be wondering, what is this phone? So it's basically a low end smartphone coming from Techno. So this is coming from Jason Marina. So Techno has launched the Spark Go 3 budget smartphone in India. It comes with a single rear camera, an affordable price tag, and will go on sale this January 23. It is equipped with the Unisoc T7250 SoC, which is paired with 4GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 64GB of internal storage. The phone runs Android 15 out of the box with Ella AI Assistant. So the Spark Go 3 comes with a 6.74-inch LCD display with a HD Plus resolution and a refresh rate of 120Hz. At the back, it gets a 13 megapixel single rear camera with LED flash. For selfies, there's an 8 megapixel camera housed inside a large cutout. Now this is kind of confusing. I'm not sure if this is actually a notch. If Techno is bringing back a notch, or is it still O-shaped selfie camera? I'm not sure, but if we look at the back, this is how the back of the phone looks like. So the handset packs a 5000 milliamp battery and offers 15-watt wide charging support. Other specs include an IP64 rating, 4G connectivity. I mean, it makes sense that 5G connectivity still isn't widespread as of today. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and micro SD card slot for storage expansion, and a USB Type-C port. The Techno Spark Go 3 is priced at 8,999 Indian rupees or $99 for a single 4GB of RAM, 64GB of storage option. It will be available in Aura Purple, Galaxy Galaxy Blue, Ink Black, and Titanium Gray color options when it goes on sale on January 23rd. So I'm kind of puzzled how the phone looks like. Is it a V-shaped notch again, or are they still using a O-shaped thing? I'm not sure, because if you look very closely, right here, is it a notch? Are they bringing back a notch, or how? It looks kind of confusing. Yeah, I'm confused. So I don't know when, but whatever how the phone looks like, I'm still puzzled. So I don't know if they're actually bringing back a notch phone, judging judging with the locked icon and of course the so-called Face ID there. Is it me? Is it just me, or are they really bringing back the notch? I do not know. If Techno is going back with a V notch shape, I'm not sure. But yeah, overall the phone does look nice, I would say, compared to the Spark Go 2. Either way. But there's that. So yeah, what do you think about the look of this smartphone? Let us know in the comments section down below. All right. Oh yeah. By the way, we are live on Cool FM, AspRadio, and on social media platforms on Facebook, such as Facebook via TGON Cool FM Manila. Yes, TGON Cool FM Manila, and of course our YouTube channel that is on Asphere's Cafe, AspMedia's YouTube channel. All right. So let's let's discuss what else we have here. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the fate of Chrome OS coming from 95 Google. So here, this is what Google's vice president said right here, that existing Chromebooks may upgrade to Android stack. Chrome OS support will continue. So this is the fate of what will happen to Chrome OS. So this is coming from 95 Google. The future of Chrome OS is a bit messy at the moment, with Google's exact plans for the future of Chromebooks and a new Android base being somewhat of a mystery. In the new interview, though, a Google VP offers a bit of information around future support for Chrome OS as they know it today, as well as what owners can expect in regards to whether they will be able to upgrade. While Google has not abandoned Chrome OS by any means, the looming Aluminium OS project lurks in the background. The supposed reworking of Chrome OS to be based on Android has been in development for some time, and it brings a lot of questions along with it. So, along those are how existing Chromebooks will fare in this new feature, and a new interview between Google VP John Malitis and Chrome Unboxer provides some answers. So, Malitis, VP of Product Management for Chrome OS at Google for the past 4 years, says directly that Chrome OS and existing Chromebooks won't be abandoned, acknowledging that the millions and millions of students, of consumers, and of employees at work who are heavily reliant upon what we have done with Chromebooks. This includes maintaining that commitment of 10 years of support of these devices from when the platform launches. So in short, Google will continue software support for existing Chromebooks on Chrome OS for the 10-year period promised, a commitment that was first made in 2023. As far as the new Android base goes, Malitis says that the new stack won't be compatible with all existing Chromebooks, but a lot of the newer devices will be able to migrate over to whatever Google has in store. Again, it's all pretty unclear what this will all look like and what the new platform as a whole will even be. Needless to say, there are still a lot of questions, but it's good to know that not only is Google looking at keeping support for existing Chromebooks going, but even offering some the ability to upgrade. So it's good to know that Google is still fully committed to supporting Chrome OS for much longer, while they may have plans to move over. Okay, anyway, so back to what I was saying. It's good to know that Google is continuing to commit longer support for Chrome OS, while some of the Chromebooks will be able to upgrade to a newer Android stack, which is, I'd say, pretty exciting. I would say right here. So, what are your thoughts on the current status of the Chrome OS? Let us know in the comments section down below. Alright, let's move on to another news here, and it looks like Nothing brand will raise smartphone prices in 2026 due to RAM shortages, and it is going to Carl Pei. So, Carl Pei, CEO and founder of Nothing, published a blog post to Twitter on X late on Tuesday. The post titled, "Why Your Next Smartphone Will Cost More," breaks down the current frustrations being faced by the tech industry as AI fundamentally reshapes demand for memory. While most of the observations shared here are universal, it's not just Nothing that appears to face a choice between raising prices or downgrading specs. The real news comes towards the end of the post when Pi confirms that Nothing's smartphone portfolio will inevitably see a price increase. It might not all be bad news for Nothing fans. Pi confirms an upcoming launch will see some products, presumably Nothing's A series, move to UFS 3.1 storage. That's a long overdue, I'm saying here, though that also ties into these upcoming higher prices. There aren't any exact figures here, though Pi does use seemingly hypothetical guesses like 30% or more when discussing unspecified smartphone brands. Earlier in the piece, Pi also points to estimates that memory modules which cost less than $20 a year ago could exceed $100 by year-end for top-tier models. Well, again, not really suggesting minor $5 or $10 price bumps here. Still, Price seems largely assured by his own brand, calling this situation a great opportunity to prove to consumers that nothing wins on more than spec sheets alone. Although the Nothing experience has hit some pretty big speed bumps in the past few months, it's easy to see where this sense of optimism comes from. The company released some pretty solid products in 2025, even if each of them seem to arrive with their own individual controversies, which I believe it's something with Nothing Phone 3A and of course Nothing Air 3. So yeah, and I want to see what are their takes on this one. And of course, I mean, it's not just Nothing Phone. If I'm gonna be honest, it's not just Nothing Phone that will suffer a price increase. Literally, it can be every smartphone brand producing smartphones that will suffer a price increase. Heck, even Philippines might be affected too. So yeah, well, oh well, what we have, right? Anyway, so yeah, there you go. That's Nothing increasing potential. Sorry, that's Nothing smartphone brand increasing smartphone prices soon. Now, if you all remember where we talked about Microsoft, yes, as you can see, people continues to make fun of Microsoft by calling them Microsoft. So, as reported by Windows Central, the extension actually exists, which is called Microsoft, where if you install extension, a word Microsoft mentioned will turn into Microsoft. So well, this is really funny, and this is pretty funny, and this is all good for those who wants to make fun. Heck, if I go to my YouTube feed right now, you can see that my YouTube algorithm is showing videos related to Microsoft right now. Like, let's see, coming from Clownfish TV. Oh hey, I also see my own live stream too. But if I go scroll down right here, you can see that there is a Microsoft mention in my YouTube feed. Wait, where is it? Not J2 Sense, not J2 Sense. Nope, not J2 Sense. Maybe is it in the new to use section? Okay, maybe is it? Oh, it's not here now. But I swear I saw it earlier in my YouTube feed that tech YouTubers are actually calling Microsoft a Microsoft, and there is really no turning back. There is really no turning back. Wait, where is it? Not this one. Not this one. But oh yeah. Fossey, and of course, there it is. There's the thumbnail. Microsoft. Yup. There it is. Microsoft. That's what I'm talking about. Microsoft. All right. So, as you are seeing right here, the AI hate trend isn't stopping anytime soon, and it was first spotted by Windows latest, and there is an extension called Microsoft to Microsoft. So I'm not gonna install it. I'm just going to read the reviews here, but you can see there are already 60 ratings as of this posting. My gosh, they're really that serious in installing that extension, huh? Look at this. It's a civil duty to support this good software. Absolute Cinema, incredible extension, God's work. Anyway, if you see how this works, obviously it just renames Microsoft to Microsoft. Simple as that. Same right here, Microsoft, Microsoft.com. How cool! Like knowing that Microsoft is fully focused on AI nowadays, and no wonder why. And again, shout out to Windows latest, one of my best go-to sites for everything Windows. Again, shout out to Windows latest. So yeah, this was again as Windows Central mentioned, Windows Latest was the first to cover this one, and yeah. So, yeah. So basically, what Microsoft does, well, it means they're calling out the company's attempt to push AI everywhere in Windows 11. And yeah, the perception has gradually shifted from wow to we don't want this, and it's true because no one really wants AI now, huh? No one really wants to have AI now, huh? Wow. Anyway, so this is correct. It was all going well until Microsoft began adding Copilot to every product. That's correct. It was going everywhere. It was going on for them, honestly. They should have kept it. They should have stayed that way for Windows only or Microsoft Edge, not shuffling into every product. They should have kept it that way. But here we are now with Microsoft forcing the truth on us. Look at that. AI ideas, yeah. It's all not going well. Just a simple Microsoft. It's already used. It is already used in Windows Central. It is already used in Windows Central blog post right there. It's already used in the Windows Central blog post. So this is what the author says. The Windows giant really needs to either build truly useful AI features or stop forcing people to use AI products at all. Of course. And well, even Dell agrees. Even Dell agrees that their AI PCs are not selling well. And yeah, Dell is already going back to what consumers want. They want working hardware that works well, not shuffle AI into every product. You could see Dell is already going back to focus on gaming hardware, build quality, battery life, and other factors, instead of going all in AI. You can see that Dell understands us very well. Yup, and Dell understands us, huh? At least they understand the reception of this. No wonder. So yeah. I won't be too surprised if they continue if every user base continues to call Microsoft Microsoft. I'm not gonna be too surprised at all. So yeah, it looks like it's not stopping anytime soon. It is not stopping anytime soon. Alright, so now we will move on now to Windows related news. And well, onto a positive news to some positive news. You can now set .webp images as your desktop background. This is a new file format you can now set as your wallpaper, and that's a good thing. So you can now open settings by going to settings, personalization, desktop background, and you can choose any .webp image as the background. This feature is included in build 26220.7653 for testers, and it will be coming to Windows 11 24H2 or 25H2 machines in the future. It's not retail, but it's still a nice addition, as they say. So .webp is typically much smaller than JPG, and especially PNG and similar quality has always been supported on Windows. While Windows apps or web browsers can load .webp, but if you pick up a background in settings for personalization and background, Windows doesn't just show an image. But now that's changing. So yeah. And as for the the video wallpaper, no signs as of yet. But if you can see the glance how it works. This is how the video wallpaper will look like if it has been added to Windows 11. But in the meantime, you will now be able to set .webp images as your background wallpaper, and honestly, that is pretty good news. And once you apply the video wallpaper, this is how it works. Like that. But hey, at least useful feature, not AI. Let's go. I would say useful feature at long last. Now letting you set .webp images as your desktop wallpaper. Hooray! Now let's move on to another Windows 11 news, and this time we're gonna speak on a bad news. Black screen, Outlook pop freezes, Azure Visual Desktop breaks, and localized resource day. And it is related to KB 5074109. So the the latest patch Tuesday update was released last week, including Windows 11 KB 5074109 for both 25H2 and 24H2. Well, black screen. So this is the first issue you're seeing here. And the second is if your wallpaper has reset, you have to select a background again, and that's yikes. And Outlook Classic will not be able to open or exit. That's the issue. That's the issue. You can see it's not loading here. But this is the workaround. You have to go to Task Manager and type outlook.exe, and you will see your Outlook application there, and you have to click End Task right here. And over for Azure Visual Desktop, it does break some of the functionalities, and they are working on it to resolve. Man, when is Microsoft ever going to release an update that isn't full of bugs, right? And of course, there are instructions on how to uninstall updates. And now for good news around this time, Windows 11.5H2 quietly brings behind-the-scenes upgrades across Wi-Fi and audio via new drivers. So, you will now have Wi-Fi 7 support on Windows 11.5H2 if you have a Wi-Fi 7 adapter on your desktop or a laptop. And Microsoft is turning on new Wi-Fi CX changes for Wi-Fi 7 the enterprise networks. As per the Microsoft support document, Wi-Fi CX is a driver interface layer for Wi-Fi on Windows that hardware vendors use. After the update, drivers cannot detect Wi-Fi 7 enterprise connectivity support from each other. So if you have a Wi-Fi 7 hardware and you actually use Wi-Fi 7 enterprise setups, which is common in offices or universities, you might experience improved connectivity, reduced root connection failures due to capability mismatches. But if you're a home user with typical WPA2 or WPA3 networks, you will see little to no differences. But if you are using it at work or school, this will be a benefit for you. And for the audio drivers, Microsoft may be reducing the audio not found errors on Windows 11. So they made some changes to Windows 11 drivers, so you will see fewer audio not working right after reinstall situations, especially on devices that use SoundWired or SDCA, because the inbox drivers cover more scenarios. So you may be wondering, what the heck is this? So SoundWired is a hardware bus used for audio components in modern PCs. On the other hand, SDCA is the device class driver stack for SoundWired audio devices. And in addition, the multi-channel support is now more reliable, so if you capture audio from multiple channels, as is typically used in advanced setups, you will experience fewer issues, including audio not found or audio working on one channel but not the other. And another notable change is that all SDCA drivers are now included in Windows 11. As they mentioned above, SDCA is the device class or driver stack for sound-wired audio devices, and those drivers are now included in Windows 11. For instance, if you have sound-wired or SDCA-based audio hardware and an in-box driver is present, it reduces the odds of speakers or mics failing until you install OEM packages. So the rest of the improvements in Windows 11.25 H2's driver deployment are mostly for enterprises. In Windows 11.25 H2, Microsoft added user mode accessors.h, which is basically a safer toolbox for kernel mode code when it needs to read or write data that lives in user mode memory. And yeah, there you have it. So these are what you call this improvements to Windows 11.25 H2, especially Wi-Fi 7 support or enhanced Wi-Fi 7 support. So hey, at least Wi-Fi 7 is now natively supported in the latest Windows 11 updates. Hey, not bad. And there you have it. So that is the latest round of our tech. That is the latest round of our tech cafe for this gap right here on Asphere's Cafe. Alright, before I head to commercial break, Tora Racer said, Nutella, more like Nutella. Whoa, hold up to your horses, Tora Racer. Hold up to your horses, oh my gosh. Satya Nutella, more like Satya Nutella. Whoa. But yeah, anyway, it is now 7:48 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and we will be taking our last commercial break. And later on, Asphere's Cafe, we will be going through the weekly poll results and this week's weekly poll in terms of smartphones from GSM Arena. Plus, we will be looking over at Reddit posts and what I can discuss right there. Alright, here on Asphere's Cafe. So stay along with us. Oh my gosh, the pop-up just keep on coming for any task. Yeah, I'm the sole TOC. By the way, I'm the sole TOC operator for Asphere's Cafe, and that's why I'm in charge of the show regardless. But any task loves nagging me that yeah, we're happy, yeah, blah blah blah. Anyway, we'll be right back right here on Asphere's Cafe, right here on Cool FM and As Radio. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back. Stay along with us. Welcome back to the program. It is now a minute before 8 p.m. in the Philippines Standard Time, and yes, we are now in the last gap of our tech cafe right here on Asphere's Cafe, as we will be looking into our weekly smartphone results for this week, along with the results from last week. So without any further ado now, let's get into the last round of our Tech Cafe, starting off with our weekly poll results from GSM Arena. And it looks like the Motorola signature is promising, but price and availability are a concern. So results from last week's poll showed that the Motorola signature has a lot of potential, but there are many ways Motorola could screw that up, and it already has to some extent. So first, it is nice, but a bigger battery is better. The consensus was that a battery with 5,200 milliamp battery capacity is small in the phone with a 6.8-inch display. Well, here are your results. With over 431 votes, majority said yes, I want one. 470 votes, maybe I will wait for reviews. 499 votes, maybe, but only after a price cut. 466, there are better phones at this price. 98 votes said, I don't want a high-end phone, and none of the above. And there's a price, so nearly a quarter of voters will wait for a price cut before considering buying the signature. And yeah. So, well, we will see how Motorola signature goes, knowing that they have a lot of potential, but there are worrying concerns that they can screw up, and that is pretty understandable. Now let's head over to this week's smartphone weekly poll, and that is one of the Oppo Reno 15 models. Would you buy one of them, and which one? But first, let's read what it is and what is this phone. So Oppo unveiled the Reno 15 series for global markets on the new year, that is January 1, then launched it in India a week later, including a Pro Mini model. Except that this Pro Mini, which is for India, corresponds to the global Pro model. The Pro model in India is instead the global Pro Max model. It is really a messy product names, typical how they name it there. But anyway, the Oppo Reno 15 Pro Max, aka Reno 15 Pro in India, combines a large 6.78-inch display, which is 10-bit OLED with 1272p plus resolution and 120Hz refresh rate, with a 6500 mAh battery, which has 80 watts of wired and 50 watts of wireless charging. It is powered by the Dimensity 8450 that is powered by MediaTek. It features a triple camera, 200 megapixels main, 1.56 inch, and it has all optical image stabilization, 50 megapixel 3.5 times 85 millimeter telephoto, and 50 megapixel ultra wide. So here is the image demographic as well, or right here. So in short, we have 4 cameras and 12 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes storage. Pro Max costs 25,000 Taiwanese dollars in Taiwan, while in India the Pro is 68,000 Indian rupees for 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage model, and 73,000 Indian rupees for a 12 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. The global Oppo Reno 15 Pro, aka Reno 15 Pro Mini, packs a detailed 6.32-inch display, 10-bit 1216p plus resolution, and 120Hz refresh rate, and a surprisingly large 62,000 milliamp battery. Again, 80 watt wired only charging. It uses the same Dimensity 8450 chipset and the same 200 plus 50 megapixel cameras as its next size simply. The Pro 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage costs 21,000 Taiwanese dollars. The same model in India as the Pro Mini is 60,000 Indian rupees, and there is a 12 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage version for 65,000 Indian rupees. And finally, the Oppo Reno 15 sits in the middle with a 6.59-inch display, 10-bit 1256p plus resolution, and 120Hz refresh rate, and a 6,500 mAh battery. Again, 80 watt wired only charging. It switches themes with a Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 chipset and has a 50 plus 8 megapixel camera, including a 3.5 times 80mm telephoto module. The vanilla model starts at 80,000 Taiwanese dollars for a 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, and has a 20,000 Taiwanese dollars, which is 12 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage option. In India, these models cost 49,000 Indian rupees and 54,000 Indian rupees, but there is also a cheaper 46,000 Indian rupees with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Now, let's start with the polls. Starting off with the Reno 15 Pro Max, you have the options. Would you buy the Oppo Reno 15 Pro Max, aka Reno 15 Pro in India? Yep, yes, I want one. Maybe, but I'll wait for reviews. It's not available near me. No, I want one of the other Reno 15 models. No, there are better phones for this price. I don't want a mid-ranger, and none of the above. And for the Reno 15 Pro or Pro Mini in India, same options. You have the same options, right? You have the same options as the above. And the vanilla Reno 15 model, that's right here. Would you buy the Oppo Reno 15? Yes, I want one. Maybe, but I'll wait for reviews. It's not available near me. No, I want one of the other Reno 15 models. No, there are better phones for this price. I don't want a mid-ranger, and of course, none of the above. So I'm pretty sure it is the same option for every poll. So it's up to you which phone would you want to go with. But there you are your options for this week's smartphone weekly poll. So if you are interested in getting this phone, or if you're curious, head over to GSM Arena website and start voting, as the voting will be closed by Sunday. So yeah, we will see the results next week to see if they're interested in the Oppo Reno 15. All right, with that out of the way now, we will now go with the rest of the smartphone news, as starting off with another round of GSM Arena articles right here. Yes, we already did cover the Asus leaving the smartphone market earlier, but we will look for something else, and that is Samsung right here. So well, they are saying that there won't be a Galaxy S26 Edge and S26 Pro. So as Samsung is gearing up to announce the new Galaxy S26 series, some are still wondering whether the Galaxy S26 Edge will replace the S26 Plus and the Pro will take the vanilla S26 place. Earlier rumors said no to both questions, and the latest leak, if they can call that, corroborates those early findings. According to a PDF document about promotions published by Samsung Colombia, the Galaxy S26 series, which will debut at this year's Galaxy S26 Unpacked event, will be the S26, S26 Plus, and the S26 Ultra with no Pro or Edge in sight. Well, that doesn't mean the two handsets are scrapped, no, but they will see a delayed launch for the Edge. But at least for now, all signs point to Samsung giving up on the Edge series. Well, there you go. So that answers the question to those who are curious as whether the S26 Edge or replace something blah blah blah, or S26 Plus blah 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 with that, or S26 Pro replace something else. That's not happening with this upcoming event. There you go. And well, it looks like Apple has been warned by India's competition watchdog. So why is that? We will get into that in a moment. So India's competition watchdog, the Competition Commission of India, has issued a final warning to Apple over its efforts to delay an ongoing antitrust investigation that began in 2021, according to Reuters. Apple has been involved in an antitrust case in India since 2021 over in-app payment issues, and as a part of that ongoing legal battle, the Cupertino-based tech giant faces a potential fine of $38 billion. That's a heavy amount, oh my gosh. Apple challenged India's new antitrust penalty law, which could allow CCI to use Apple's global turnover to calculate the penalty. In response, the CCI asked Apple in October 2024 to file objections to the investigation's findings and provide financial details typically used to assess penalties. However, Reuters reports Apple has received repeated extensions since then. So the Commission is of the considered view that repeated extensions, despite unambiguous directions, undermine procedural discipline and impede the timely conclusion of proceedings, said CCI in the confidential December 31st, 2025, which was ordered seen by Reuters. And for continuing with the quote, such indulgence cannot be continued indefinitely, end quote. CCI intends to proceed unilaterally in the case if it doesn't receive a response from Apple by next week, since the Tim Cook-led tech giant has delayed responses to officials for over a year and undermined the investigation. Citing a source familiar with the matter, Reuters reports that Apple views CCI's December order as a move to preempt the ongoing court proceedings, and the company was not likely to respond to it before the judges hear it next on January 27. Well, that's something. Whatever happens to Apple and India will remain be seen for this one. But yeah, what do you think about this news, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to another one, and this is not surprising at all, as Spotify is going to raise prices for well, I don't know, I lost count, but The important thing is they're raising prices again. So Spotify is raising the prices for its premium subscription in the US, along with Estonia and Latvia. The new fee will be $12 or $13 per month, up $1 from $12 previously. The new pricing will take hold from your billing date in February. The dual plan is going up to $19 per month from $17 per month. That is $2 increase, and the family plan will be $22 per month. That is also a $2 increase, previously from $20. While the student plan will increase from $6 to $7. So that's $1 increase. Well, this is getting annoying, guys. This is getting annoying. If you hate price increase, well, then this is the right call to wake up. If you decide to stop using Spotify, now is your time to stop. And I think, well, this is kind of important. So we got new chipsets from MediaTek, and that is the Dimensity 95,000 focusing on flagship, and 85,000 focusing on mid-range. So let's dive deep into this. So starting off with MediaTek Dimensity 95,000, it comes with a primary ARM Cortex X925 Ultra core clock at 3.73 GHz. It also gets 3 Cortex X4 premium cores and 4 Cortex A720 performance cores. For graphics, the chipset gets an Immortalis G925 GPU that supports advanced ray tracing, adaptive chip technology 3.0, and frame technology 3.0. In fact, it packs a flagship NPU for generative reasoning and multi-modal model support. It gets the MediaTek Imagi-Q image processor for real-time motion tracking at up to 30 frames per second, 8K 60 full focus video recording with Dolby Vision HDR, and noise reduction. The chip supports up to a 320 megapixel camera sensor and WQHD plus displays with up to 180 Hz refresh rate. The 95,000S chipset also supports LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4 storage. It comes with Wi-Fi 7, dual SIM, dual active 5G, GPS, Beidou, GLONASS, Galileo, Nav IC, QCSS, Bluetooth 5.4, and the MediaTek UltraSafe 4.0 power saving technology. And as for the 85,000, the Dimensity 85,000 also features an all-big core CPU design, but it's manufactured using a more efficient 4nm process. It's equipped with 8 Cortex A725 cores clocked at up to 3.4 GHz. It gets a Mali G720 GPU that's set to offer up to 25% improved performance and 20% lower power consumption compared to the previous generation. It supports LPDDR5X 4-channel RAM, UFS 4 storage, and comes with a MediaTek 8-gen NPU 880 that supports most large language and image generation models. The chipset also gets Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.4, the same GPS satellite support as the flagship 95,000S, dual SIM, dual active 5G connectivity, and MediaTek UltraSafe 3.0 Plus. As for imaging, the SoC supports a maximum camera sensor of 320 megapixel, 4K 60 frames video recording, and display up to WQHD plus resolution and 144 refresh rate. So both chipsets will support Bluetooth 5.4, but there are differences when it comes to Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi 7 will be exclusive to 95,000S, while you get the 6E for the 85,000. But other than that, that's what we call a major step up in the game for both Dimensity processors you're seeing right there. Alright, I think we are... Oh wait, iPhone Fold, you may use a liquid metal hinge, new leak suggests. Okay, so I don't know if I have covered this before, or I don't know if Jibcore did, but I might give my take on this. So, well, it looks like Apple's affordable iPhone will use a hinge crafted from a material known as liquid metal. So this is going to be interesting. How Apple is going to execute with its durability of their foldable phone. So the use of liquid metal is expected to improve hinge durability and minimize stress at the folding point. Meanwhile, the iPhone Fold's main body will reportedly use a new titanium material that offers greater strength and a lighter overall weight than the titanium used in recent iPhone models. So there is that one leak that the iPhone Fold may use a liquid metal hinge. We'll see how that goes, but on the paper, it does sound like that Apple is giving up for its first gen iPhone Fold to be durable enough. So that is a good sign right there. And I guess that is everything for the smartphone news right here on our Tech Cafe. And now I will be going to the Reddit to see what are the updates, right? What are the updates in the terms of tech. So let's go to the internet subreddit, that is r/internetph. Okay, so this is interesting. PlayStation Portal and with PLTT Fiber not working with cloud streaming. So the OPT made an update that they called PLTT hotline and requested to enable UPnP or get login access. But they said they can't configure the settings on their end, and they were advised to contact PLTT cares on Messenger instead. They did message it but can't proceed yet because there's an ongoing landline support ticket on their account. So if they're wondering what's the error there, this is what it says. Can't start because your internet connectivity can't start because your internet connection quality might not be sufficient to play streaming games. That's the error message right there. And yeah, I mean, what will you do, right, if you cannot use it, right? But yeah, if you do care about the gaming, yeah, it is pretty important. If you care, it is really important to check your net type. Okay, so well, let's go check my recent posts. This is kind of interesting to say that they're using Unbox as for their end plate displays. Very interesting. So you can clearly see behind that they do have an Unbox right here. Outside of that, they also have a Samsung TV as well. But right there, you can see that they have an Unbox. Interesting. Okay, so if I'm sure some of you are aware about the Maya's grab hack. Well, not technically hack, but a trick that will increase your savings rate to 10%, if I'm not mistaken. But well, you know now that Maya is already cracking down. So this is the according to the terms and conditions in the section 6.7. There is the context that you cannot do this. So this is according to the TOC. This is according to TOC paper there. It says you understand and agree that Maya reserves the right to withhold or set off transactions or benefits if Maya suspects or proves that your account card is compromised or deemed fraudulent, or if Maya suspects or proves that you are abusing or gamifying the services. So therefore you are clearly not allowed to do this. So you are clearly not allowed. I repeat, you are clearly not allowed to do that. So there are already reports that Maya is banning accounts that do this, that they're doing this. So yeah, be careful. Be careful, guys. Be careful. As Brad Wayon said, fuck around and find out. That's correct. Mere suspicion is enough to have your account closed. Remember that the boost rate only applies to a small... Exactly. So, what can you learn from this? Don't even try risking an account. Do not even try, okay? Don't even try. Just don't even try, okay? Don't even try playing around with this workaround if you have enough amount. Don't even try. It's not worth it. It's not worth the ban. I promise. It's not worth the ban. Again, I promise to you, it's not worth the ban, alright? If you use Maya as your main e-wallet account, I promise it's not going to be worth it if you get your account back and if you don't get your money. If your money is there, your savings, your money, all gone. So I suggest stay away from attempting this savings hack or life hack. It's not worth it. If you don't want to get your account banned, then don't do it. It's not worth it. That's all I can say. It's not worth it. All right? It's not worth it. I can guarantee you that it's not worth it. You know. That. If you know, you know. All right. So let's go back to what I can discover. Okay, so it looks like there will be another haul riding app coming to the Philippines, and that goes by the name Bolt. What the heck is Bolt? I don't know, but based on what I have read in this post, it turns out to be a ride hauling app. So I will have to do my own research. What even is Bolt? So let's do a quick research. There it is. There it is. I guess this is how Bolt looks like. This is how Bolt looks like. Basically, it's yet another ride-hauling app, which I can confirm. Your ride is here, and you have your options right there, of course. On the paper, it does sound a good alternative to Grab, which I can agree with. It sounds good. It is available in Thailand, but whether that remains to be seen. But interesting to know that they have one in Malaysia and Thailand that are the countries in Southeast Asia that have Bolt app. Now I have learned that Bolt is a ride-hauling app. If ever it comes to Indonesia, I wonder what will be your experience right there. But knowing what we have, this is their local office here in the Philippines. So yeah, coming soon, guys. We will be having yet another alternative tips to Grab. So hallelujah. If you are really tired of no drivers available, now you have more options. So yeah, we will have to keep my eyes peeled. I have to keep my eyes peeled on this if ever they plan on launching. But there you go. All right, we're less than 3 minutes away before we wrap our program. Again, before I end the program, I wanna give my shout out to our Discord audience. We have Alzare Zalia and Reggie Jr. and Torracer. All to those who are tuning into my program, thank you so much for your continued support, and I really appreciate you all for showing up, for showing maintenance. I really appreciate you all for showing up. So good job, guys, and I hope you all can continue to support us later. But yeah, so this will be in fact our last one before we wrap it up. And yep, it looks like the iPhone 18 may have a punch hole camera, but it will be on the left. Well, we'll see if this rumor is true, but again, take this with a grain of salt. We'll see if the rumor is true, but take this with a grain of salt. Alright, so there you have it, guys. I think that is where we can end it here. And yeah, we are ending it on time. How cool is that? But yeah, again, I want to thank and appreciate each of you for stopping by to our cafe, and I hope you all can join me again tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Cool FM and Nas Radio. But yeah, it's been a pleasure doing this on my own, even though Dreamcar is going on indefinite break, which again I'm not sure why he's doing this, but he did say he will be returning, but he has yet to announce when. But yeah, I want to say to Dream Car, uh, come back when you're ready. I'm not forcing you to be on my show, but take your time whenever you are, man. And that brings us to the end of Asphere's Cafe tonight. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Cool FM and As Radio. Coming up next on As Radio, it's Tech Won't Save Us, and over on Cool FM, it's the music automation. This has been Asphere's Cafe. I'm Cairo, and the cafe is now closed. We will be see you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Cool FM and As Radio. Join us right here, same time, same place. The cup is over. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.